Hi everyone, we are back with our next episode of Detox to Detox Career Series, episode 2. What kind of work opportunities are available in COVID-19 and how do you find them? So, today we are going to talk about how to salvage your tumbling professional blocks in case they are tumbling during this incredible time of crisis and what should be your game plan. But before I do that, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out on the Instagram account. And if you like what we write and create, please follow us. And the reason why you should do this is because that's the way you get to read and watch and listen to some insightful, incredible content that we create exclusively for you. So, you and I are in this period together, this period called pandemic where people are struggling together. You should know that I really appreciate your participation. So without much ado, let's take a plunge into the real thing. Now people are panic stricken. They feel there are no job options right now, but let me help you paint a more realistic picture. And let me help you know where you can go and what you can do while you are dealing with this financial crisis during this pandemic. Before that, let me also do a reality check for you. Before I share the 4 options that I've specially enlisted to discuss today, let me also do a little reality check for all of us. Layoffs and furloughs are happening, yes, but they will stop when the sales pick up. 25 million people have already lost their jobs in this period. Now, the kind of unemployment figures that are trickling in definitely look disheartening. One week, I conjured some information where I found that 1.3 million people were laid off. And post that, couple of weeks later, I found out that 6.6 million people were laid off. That means roughly 25 million over these 2 months of pandemic lockdown crisis across the world, people have been picked off. So the immediate assumption that the world has is there are no jobs. If everyone is getting laid off, that's what is construed by most of the people. But it doesn't have to happen like that. Now, layoffs will continue to happen as companies are trying to figure out if they are making enough money and they have to lay off in order to keep their businesses alive. Companies are closely watching their sales numbers daily, weekly, monthly to take those tough calls. How many people to lay off or furlough or not? But trust me, once the sales number pick up, start to move back, the cash flow begins to beef up, companies regain their confidence that they are steady again, they will start to hire again. Maybe not immediately everyone, but trust me, they will start to hire again. Maybe in weeks, months, definitely in months. Now, so rather than losing ground, if you have been laid off or furloughed, God forbid, or if you fear that that may happen in near future, or if you're struggling to figure out what to do professionally, it's wise that you run a reality test for yourself. Should you be looking for jobs? Yes, absolutely you should be looking for jobs. And are there companies hiring? Absolutely, there are companies and enough companies hiring out there. So you should get looking for jobs. The number of options may not be as huge as they were some months back. But so that means you can't be picky and choosy. So rather than being tied to loose hinges of insecurity, I suggest that start working on concretizing a robust plan of way forward. Now I have a very favorite to me, close to my heart favorite rule, which I call 5-second rule. And I have been endorsing this rule over the years with all my clients and all my students and all my team members. And that is, if you have a problem, which is inevitable, we all have problems more than we can handle at times. If you have a problem, spend 5 respectful minutes to brood and pine and mull over the problem, but then immediately after 5 seconds, switch to solutions. Solutions may not be low-hanging fruits which you can just stretch an arm and pluck. So solutions are a way of thinking. And at a neurological level, now I give references like these because I am myself academically a psychologist. And at a neurological level, that's where your mind functions. And mind is the operating system of your entire existence. So the moment you say there is a problem, trust me, your brain starts to function in a certain way. But the moment you say there's a problem, but there is a solution and I will find it, your entire thought process goes through a paradigm shift. You start seeking for different information, you take different actions, and you are likely to reach different results. So start from today onwards. Say every time you are in face to face with a problem of any nature, just tell yourself, go away and talk to yourself and tell yourself, this is a problem, it has a solution and I will find it. Trust me, the moment you do that one sentence to yourself, you see a complete shift of the way your brain starts to function towards a solution away from a problem. So let's get set to make notes of the 4 options that I'm about to share with you. I suggest if you have a journal, a notepad, or a pen or a pencil, please conjure them up and get ready. So, as I said, eventually sales will pick up. Companies will bounce back. Economies will start to ring. If you had a job, but are currently furloughed, that is not exactly laid off, but have been put on hold and are not getting paid, or if you envision it to happen to you likely, or if you were preparing for a certain career but suddenly everything is at a standstill, status quo, and there's nothing moving, you should use this time to potentially earn an income, add value, close the gap between where you are today and where you want to see yourself in future career. So option number 1, get a gap job. Your option number 1 is get a gap job. Now, what is a gap job? Gap jobs are jobs which hire on hourly basis. These options, trust me, are surging. Loads and loads of work opportunities for people who are working from home or sitting at home and don't have work are being offered work where they get paid hourly. The chaos outside may have convinced you to think that everyone is losing jobs, but there are companies that are hiring. Companies like Amazon and other e-players, food delivering services, grocery services, healthcare industry. There's a lot of surge in freelance writing work and typing work and a lot of different kind of creative work which people can sit back home and do. So there are lots of gap job options available out there. You just have to scrounge around, look for those gap options. And it is understood that it is not going to be your normal career progression. This is not something that you wanted to do as a career, or you may want to stick forever and ever. But it would be an income and it would keep you busy. As there are some people who, okay, so before that, let me tell you that people are of 2 kinds, and we've all experienced. There are 2 kinds of people in this world. Post-COVID lockdown, we've all realized some people have brilliantly adapted and acclimatized to the stay-home lifestyle. However, there are other people who are suffering from I have to stay home syndrome. And they are people who were DNA'd to keep moving, to interact with people, to go places, to be outdoor. And for them, the homestay lifestyle is, trust me, devastating. And these are the individuals who need a routine desperately and who need a purpose. So a gap job is a perfect option for people who are sitting at home and don't have much to do or don't have a professional much to do. They can absolutely explore the options of gap jobs available out there. And even as a recruiter standpoint, and since I have headed HR and have particularly headed hiring and recruitments for a big corporate for years, I can personally vouch that had it been in good times, an HR manager or a hiring or a recruiter person may have questioned you why a gap job. But in the current times, nobody is going to question you. It makes no difference. This is only going to establish your positive attitude. So shed the clouds of doubts like, will it look funny on my CV? Will it look like a disruption in my work history as a professional? Trust me guys, not right now. There is no HR, no hiring manager who would ever question your credibility if you took up a gap job during these times. So if you ever wondered what would it be like to pick up a job which you probably like the idea of doing? It was your fun, your interest, your activity that you love doing, but you could never pursue it as a career because you were engaged in doing something full time, or otherwise you were doing something else and you could never steal time to do that. This is the right opportunity, right time, and right crossroad in your life to explore these kind of opportunities. And nobody is going to criticize you later, trust me. Rather, they would be impressed that you stepped up to the occasion and you kept yourself engaged. So option number one, go look for gap jobs. A lot of celebrities also chose gap jobs during their years of struggle initially. Option number two, offer pro bono services. Now, when I say pro bono services, it means freelance or work on contract basis. And I have suggested this to a lot of people in my stint as an L&D resource. I have even coached people on how this kind of work life gives you beautiful freedom of work life. You decide when to work, whom to work for, where not to work, how much to work for. And trust me, you end up not only enjoying freedom of work, but you also at times get paid better. So, and trust me, if you choose to go pro bono, offer people free pro bono at least one assignment. Let me share my own personal example with you. I have 20 years plus of work experience, and out of which 15 years I was heading HR function for the corporate world. Now, so after 20 years of working and handling a high pressure corporate career as a big chunk of my professional inning, since I am married to an army officer who was always posted from one extreme diet location to the other extreme diet location, which compelled me to handle my two little toddlers single-handedly. So I had a high-pressure job, plus I had two toddlers to raise all by myself. So I was single parenting, and that made striking a work-life balance very difficult for me. So what I did, I took a sabbatical, I stepped away, and that is when I started to exercise working on a contract basis. And I love the kind of freedom and autonomy that it gave me. And I was able to spend more time with my kids, and I was able to do work that I wanted to do, and with whom I wanted to engage, and what I wanted to do, how many hours I wanted to work, which location I wanted to work from, and it ended up and I realized that it paid me at least 4 times more than I was getting paid as a full-time employee for some organizations. So for me, it was something that bore fruits, and so pro bono is not a bad idea. So how do you start your pro bono stint is, you can put together something and post it on LinkedIn. It can be something that explains what skill set you have, explains the kind of work you do, and you can say that I am willing to do one complete project for your company absolutely free. And if you want to know more, contact me and give your contact details. Because LinkedIn is the new way of finding the right work and right employers in the market. And for employers, it is the perfect playground to explore the kind of talent available. So go and exercise your LinkedIn existence and see what you get. You can offer them, for example, if someone is a writer, can say, I can write one article free for your company, or I can put a PowerPoint free for you, or I can do one project, whatever your skill set and expertise and subject matter expertise area is. So for benefits of doing this pro bono free service is going to be that 1, you get to showcase your skill set to the world. 2, you get to build a relationship with companies. And 3, you are now helping someone and some organization in need and giving some value add to them. And 4, if they like your work, if they like the kind of person you are, your work style, the entire package that you bring to them, they might as well offer to hire you in the future. So option number 2, consider pro bono. So if you are not working right now, why not offer one pro bono service to a bunch of different companies for free? If you get 10 such assignments, imagine that is going to build your catalog. You would literally have your own portfolio as a freelancer. And you definitely will hear at least one or two of them get back to you and say, we would love to hire you for for an X amount in the future because we love what you do. And first assignment was free, but we are willing to pay you. Because after seeing your work and learning about your work style, the fear regarding the return on investment if they hired you just drops, because now they know what they're getting into, what they're investing in. So option number one was gap job. Option number two was pro bono free service. Now option number three is upskill for a sidekick or a side hustle or a hobby career. If you saw my last episode, I extensively talked about how hobby careers can become a career breakthrough. So many successful people out there, they chose to do something as a hobby, and then God was kind, their hobby is converted into $1 million empire for them. And let me share one of the examples that's completely off, that's natural to me to think of. We've all now past decade plus have spent time watching Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling, the woman who scripted Harry Potter, was working as an English teacher, and during her years as an educationist is when she would spend some free time scripting the character of Harry Potter and writing stories. And imagine something that she was doing as a sidekick, as a hobby, as an interest, took her places. She is today someone who has $1 billion asset worth in the market. So you never know when your hobby, your interest, your activities that you enjoy doing in your free time can take you to something which is so magnanimous and beautiful and career breaking. So, and trust me, several companies right now are training for free, and they train for free on whatever the companies do. So a lot of you who are not working right now can go out there and pick up some of those free available skills in the market. I will share another personal example. For example, I run an L&D organization. By L&D, I mean Learning and Development Organization. So we run internships for college students, young college students. We train them on various skills that are integral to our organization. Skills like social media management, training operations, sales and marketing, to name a few. Now, in internship, we not only train our interns on these skills, but we also get them to work in the live work environment, to give them a hands-on experience and not just theoretical gyan and knowledge. And in turn, it gives us an opportunity to see if people are interested in the work that we do, and we get to pick up talent out of the pool of people who come to us as interns. So we train them and they work for us, and in exchange, they learn the entire business end to end. Hence, we have a symbiotic relationship. That means each benefits the other in this arrangement. Now, perks of such kind of training is: one, no prior experience is required; two, no certification is required; and three, there is no barrier to entry; and fourth, last but not the least, you don't have to pay anything. So if you ever wanted to learn a skill and may have wanted to take it up as a full-time career in the future, this is the time to learn and prepare for the future. So option number one, I'll go back to option number one, gap job. Option number two is a pro bono. Option number three, a sidekick or a hobby career. And now option number four. Option number four is identify industry pivot. That is, while some industries are severed, and I understand why, because of the they've borne a brunt because of the COVID-19 pandemic. It has taken a huge hit. The industries have taken a huge hit. So there are lots of industries that are dying. However, there are so many other industries and companies that are being born out of the same crisis. So you have to identify an industry pivot. That is, think about the opportunities that are coming out of the constraints right now. Maybe your industry is dying as a result of the COVID crisis. Maybe the type of work you were doing as a result of this pandemic has taken a hit. But you have to think 1 or 2 steps ahead. What kind of companies and industries are growing as a result of this catastrophe? And which are the ones that interest you, that resonate best with you? And start to revamp your efforts, because you will be, because now will be the time to start to strategize, to prepare how to revamp your resume, how to redo your LinkedIn profile, how you can start to network. Some of you, if you are MBA students, I'm sure you know that networking is integral and a very important skill. And then how to meet the right kind of people in the industry, in your ecosystem, whichever industry you wish to see yourself grow in future, so that you can prepare yourself, transfer your skills, and make the pivot. Now, all these industries that now shoot up will not have the required skill set and experience available to be hiring from. Trust me, I've handled hiring, so I can vouch for that. They will be too busy hiring, and they may have to lower their benchmark of hirings as well. And you should be ready with your revamped resume and ready to say, here I am with my ready to apply skills and the people that I've spoken to and who can validate and vouch for my skill and build my credibility. So trust me, when you stand in the crowd of people queuing up outside the job opportunities, people who just blindly start to apply vis-a-vis someone who's prepared the skill set, got trained and learned the skill and craft, and networked with the right kind of people, trust me, against the zero preparation audience, you will definitely cut above the rest and have a chance and make a mark. So this is the time to build your skills so that you don't have to hire someone to script your CV. A lot of people I know who hire people to write their CVs, or they download stuff from internet and write in their CVs. I would rather have you guys work on your skills, work on the knowledge, work on acquiring certifications, so that you don't have to have someone writing your CV. You yourself are so incredible that whatever you are, if you plainly simply even wrote that, your CV would stand out. I can vouch that each time there has been a recession or an economic jeopardy in the world, the weak companies of course die. However, amazing new opportunities and careers pop up. So either you can look at the unemployment stats and feel sorry, and the layoff figures can completely daunt you and you can whine in misery, or you can reverse engineer. That is, fast forward your life to 2021. A year ahead from now, all bad times end, so shall this be over. Each recession has new opportunities happen to the world, and this time it shall happen too. So a year from now, the bad times will have been bygone. All this that we are going through will have been history and buried in archive data. And you will be there facing face to face with great new opportunities that will have been born out of this crisis. Now, so crowdsource some wisdom from the right sources now. Look at the kind of industries that you see thriving in future. Mull over the skills that will be in demand and start preparing your skills, your network, your resources, your certifications, your experience accordingly, so that when the opportunities are rolled out, your CV just stands out and you get a red carpet reception by the job and employers that you dream of. Now, let me paraphrase. There are jobs in the market. It may be a crowded marketplace, many people looking for jobs, but there are jobs in the market. May not be the kind of jobs that you were used to some months back, or may not be the kind of jobs that you were preparing yourself all these months or years. So revamp. That's the mantra. Revamp. For example, if you know about this actor, Akshay Kumar. Now, when he happened to the industry, we remember him from Khiladi series, and he was an action hero. But as the time changed, you saw him evolve into a comic actor, a social drama actor, and a nationalist. Any kind of thing that you imagine, any kind of character that you imagine, he possibly has played all. From social messaging to nationalism to hardcore action to humor, he does everything beautifully. So you have to revamp if you have to sustain and survive and grow and thrive. Now, 2 tips. Now that I've shared 4 options with you, let me quickly take you through 2 tips before you start to execute the 4 options. Number 1, assess yourself. That is, what are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your preferences? What are your interests? What skills will now be in demand? What value can you add to yourself and to the outer world? What about you is marketable? Your communication style, your learning style, your work style, all of that. Just do a thorough self-analysis. So assess yourself, number 1. Number 2, talk through your options to professionals and not just family and friends. Why? Because family and friends, of course, they love you. They have your best interests at their heart, but they're too blindly in love with you, and they may be biased. They may not be able to detach themselves and look at you as an applicant in the market, which is already overcrowded, as I said. So family and friends may not have a clear head about your skills, your needs, and your situations, and the ever dynamic professional scenario out there. So you need industry insiders, mentors, and career coaches who can guide you, tell you things professionally. For example, you can even approach us. We have career coaches who do this professionally. Your family loves you and has your best of interest at heart undebatably. However, you need a credible sounding board to run through your career options, the options that you are contemplating. Remember, there is an established psychological theory, and I vouch for it. Your life is the average of 5 persons you're surrounded by. So who are these 5 people who constantly tell you, talk to you, engage with you, who you listen to, who you reach out to? These 5 people who are constantly around you day to day, your life from forever till now and forever, they are the ones who are defining your life. So 5 people who you interact with maximally on a daily basis are the ones who define your life. Your life becomes average of these 5 people. So pick these 5 people very carefully. All right? Now, before we move to the, okay, we're almost towards the end of this half an hour episode. And now I would like to share with you, if you've liked what I've said so far, please subscribe to our channel and share the link with your friends and family in case anybody wishes to know or should be shared this with the 4 work options that you have to smart shift your career through COVID crisis. I know a lot of people are going through tough times, and for them this is a small effort from my end to help them explore the kind of work options that exist in the world. Okay, now let me tell you, why did I feel compelled to start this Detox to Detox Career Series now? So let me share that with you in a moment.
Education teaches adults and education teaches kids that there's some things that we have to learn in this world to be successful in life. But education does not teach kids, and education does not teach the adults that the greatest determinant of success is our conscious awakening, which is our value system. Let me help you understand. Our mind is like an operating system. So whatever is received by the mind through what we hear, what we listen to, what we watch, and what we read defines our conscious awakening. And that defines our value system, which further defines the decisions that we take, and that defines the actions that we implement, and that defines our life. So there are primarily 4 levels of conscious awakening. Level 1 is called surrender. Surrender means you live a life a victim of your surroundings. You let the world happen to you. The world defines your belief system, what you can do, you can't do, what you are and what you're not. That is level 1. Level 2 is awakening. You have the curiosity to take charge of your life, and you refuse to believe what the world tells you about your capabilities. Moreover, this is, if you are watching me, this is not entertainment. This is definitely not a TikTok level of entertainment, or I'm not here to share a comic take on life, and I'm no comedian. So you're definitely listening to something serious, because success is a serious business. Level 3. Level 3 is luck factor. When people start to associate what happens to you with luck factor. That is, you're not just a learning person. You are someone who is taking actions. You take actions and you implement and apply them in your life. You are risk-taking and you're thinking entrepreneurially. But the beauty is that you're not driven by money alone. You are driven by a far greater light, and that is the wisdom to make the world a better place and see how you can be instrumental in that process. And in that process, the right things start to happen to you, the right people start to happen to you, right situations start to happen to you. Now level 4, which is the ultimate level, and that is divine interventions begin to happen to you, which is when you feel that the results happen to you by default. Whatever you do fetches you results, and that is hinged upon your value system, your consciousness, your conscious awakening, your value system, which is why you do what you do, why you pursue what you pursue, why you don't give up, why you get up each time you fall, why you are untouched by negativity, and why you are able to script a success story. Detox to Detox Career Series is a specially designed series to help you discover your core strengths and your value system, because that is what ensures success. And there could not have been a better time to launch Detox to Detox Career Series than now. Why? 4 reasons. Reason number 1, we are in the year 2020. That means we have a decade ahead of us. We are at the onset of a new decade. Reason number 2, we just wound up a previous decade. Reason number 3, we have so much to learn from previous decade, things that went right and things that did not go right. And reason number 4, collect all the learnings from previous decade, marinate them, and then concatenate them with new learnings of this decade and make life worth it and live extraordinarily. So this is the right time to join us every Saturday to learn additional tools and techniques to make the right decisions, add more arms and ammunitions to fight and fortify your career roadmap, and live an extraordinary next decade in life ahead. So cheers on that note, and see you every Saturday with a new episode of Detox to Detox Career Series.
So, now that we have shared with you the 4 options, work options that everyone can exercise during these tough days, the tempestuous days of COVID crisis, we also entertain some questions, a Q&A, because a lot of people ask us a lot of things now about career. So we picked up certain questions, and I'm going to share with you the questions. Now, question number 1 is from Meenakshi, Jaipur, India, and she says, is this a good time to add certifications? Yes, Meenakshi, it's a brilliant time to add certifications to your career now, because now is the time to prepare yourself for the future. So, but be wary of expensive certifications. I would like you to invest wisely. There are dime a dozen free programs being offered, training programs being offered by companies, by L&D organizations. A lot of people are rolling out and doling out free training programs. So please watch out for those programs. Otherwise, there are also a lot of MOOCs available, that is mass open online certification programs. So you can also explore the kind of options available there. So certification, definitely, this is the right time to invest in learning and adding skills to yourself. We have just enough time to entertain one more question, and the second question is from George, Gurugram, India, and he is asking, is the option of pro bono okay for someone who has already got a full-time job? Because I don't want to appear like I'm moonlighting. Oh, that's a cute question. Pro bono is, there's nothing wrong with pro bono. I personally coach people about launching their hobby careers. In fact, I had a complete episode dedicated to hobby careers last Saturday. You can go back to my YouTube channel, the Quench Academy, and browse through the complete dedicated episode on hobby career or sidekick. To be a life, for example, I'm a live example. So after 20 years of working as an educationist, because I'm academically a psychologist, so my first professional stint was teaching as a professor in a university in the Department of Psychology. The first 5 years I did that. Thereafter 15 years I was heading HR function for corporates. Now after having spent more than 20 years, and because I liked to listen to people in trouble, and I would find time to sit with them, hear them out, and help them in whatever capacity I could. So I hadn't even realized this wasn't something that I was doing consciously to earn money. No, it was something that I was doing out of my free will to help humanity in whatever way I could. So after having worked for 20 years with young adults and young professionals, I realized that I had earned a certain credibility to have become a go-to person when people were professionally or personally struggling with bottlenecks. And post 2 decades, when I decided to break away, that kind of work that I was doing out of my sheer interest on the parallel on the side ended up becoming the reason why I started getting the kind of projects, freelance, contract-based projects that I started to, I was approached to work on. And that was the foundation of how I could launch my own L&D organization, learning and development business. So trust me, it's a good idea. If you have something, please don't shy away. Go after it, and you will not have a better opportunity and time to do this, because now you have time by your side. Unlike a usual 9 to 5, I can absolutely relate to the kind of corporate stints people live. They are like working 14, 15 hours daily, and it's high pressure. So you don't have the time here and time in life and space here to think about pursuing interests and hobbies. So this is the right time, because you are let loose at home and working from home. So it gives you some time maybe to consider. If you're not doing anything, even better. You have all the time in the world to explore your hobbies and interests and see how you can translate them into a career. So yes, you can go ahead, and nobody is going to accuse you of moonlighting. So thank you so much, guys, for having joined us for this episode of Career Series, Detox to Detox Career Series. I absolutely love creating this kind of content for you. Whatever R&D and research goes into creating this, I totally enjoy. I think I have never felt as gratified and as useful to the outer world, because I know a lot of people I know in my inner circle and outer circle who are struggling professionally. People who have already been laid off or are struggling and may soon be asked to sit back home. So for all those people who are struggling, and all those students who were contemplating career options and were lost because they did not know which way to head, I will keep creating and coming back with more useful content for all of you. I hope you enjoy, and if you enjoy, please do share in comments with us. If there's something that you want me to come back with, please also mention in the comment below. I am going to work hard. I am dedicated 100% to this cause. I will make everything possible for you if you are willing to join hands. So let's congregate and do this together. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend ahead, and see you with more insightful, useful, fruitful content for you. We will keep creating content over the week. Plus we have this series that we've started every Saturday, sumptuous servings every Saturday. So remember, this is the only place where you get to learn everything that education completely forgot to teach us about career creation and wealth generation. And remember, each one of you has a magic spark and a core strength which is unique to you, and the world needs it. I will help you discover that core strength and that spark that you have, and help you make your dream come true. So thank you so much, and have a great day ahead.